Marby, would you like to... Okay, I tell you what we're going to do, right? We're going to play a little game. It's another one of Milky's games. But this game is going to be called Pretend Top Lane Doesn't Exist. Would you like to break down the matchups?
Right, so very similar matchups in the jungle. Both are sort of these early to mid game spiking champions, which look to pretty much start off these fights. Fuguan is a little bit more inclined to be going for these early ganks, I feel, with the volley bear, and should be trying to do something. I said attack the bot lane, try and crush this Lucian so they can't actually get rolling. This shouldn't amount to much. Whereas Dante, much more happy to farm till 6, wait for that big ultimate to have those impacts on actual grouped up skirmishes where you can have the most impact. Mid lane, Jane should pretty much smash this early. Akali just needs to sort of try and farm a few levels, but a couple of items and scale into it. Look for that level 6 all in perhaps. And then bot lane is the point of excitement for sure. Lucian Nami, they have the potential to just get hard shoved by the likes of the Jinx. The Rockets can do a lot of work, but the potential for all in and poke. Oh, okay, bye Slater. Everything popped up.
Goodbye, Slater. Okay, Slater's playing aggressive. Artemis was okay, supposed to flash away, the ignite ticking down. And Artemis, as we said before, the student has become the master, but maybe the master still has some tricks up his sleeve.
I said this was the one to watch, and okay, we're going to get the early crash, which lets Artemis back off early and try and reset, but that's only the support flashes left for the side of, well, for either bot lane. That's just so much early action, and this is great setup for these junglers. And as I said before, Fuguan has the earlier ability to gank easier, so if the pressure gets too much and they the lane stays too pushed by goodbye Yoshino, this is an easy dive.
It is. Yoshino, what are you going to do? You could try to stun Fuguan under the tower, but it is still a first blood going to the oversized crocodile, who is getting even larger and larger. Oh, is this the Hashinshin?
No, the too many tower shots landed on Fuguan, so can't really go for it again. Has to back right off. Maybe can try and wrap back in. Unlikely though. Having only that blue buff and not a red buff means the health regen isn't in there. Can't really get to a healthy enough level where they'd want to try and burst down Yoshino under the tower. So it's a nice start move. They can't return. And it's a very early TP blown, and perhaps Pun could just make this walk back and come out with a teleport advantage. He does not though, because why would you do such a thing?
Well, honestly, why would we do anything? As we said, this isn't Sense and Sensibility. This is Pride and Prejudice. So, Marby, have you ever read Pride and Prejudice or watched it?
No, I have not. I watched the adaptation, also known as Bridget Jones's Diary, but that's the closest I've ever actually come.
Okay, so
don't compare terrible writing and books and films to the glorious Bridget Jones's
Diary. Have you seen Bridget Jones's Baby, actually?
Yes, I have, actually.
I haven't. I didn't see that one.
It's fine.
It's fine. To be honest, the whole series kind of went downhill after the first. Well,
yeah, honestly.
Okay, but after the first one, it went down. Okay, so so to any uncultured people out there, like Marby, who hasn't seen Pride and Prejudice, I'll give a brief rundown of it. There's a girl. Girl likes guy. Guy likes girl. Guy and girl can't be together because wealth of families. Girl's sister hates guy's friend. Guy's friend also hates girl's sister. Guy's friend starts to like girl's sister.
Where are we going with this?
Doesn't like this guy. I don't know. I'm trying to work out which of the characters are players in this game.
Okay, in that case, it doesn't actually matter.
Pun's just trying to get some dirty time, okay?
No, look, Pun's just trying to get something. Yeah, look. Alright, it's got off the deep end. Anyway, Jane coming up with a good CS lead in the mid lane. Bot lane is currently in the favor of Slater as well, being able to utilize that a little bit of a freeze as Artemis got that first reset to build up a small CS lead for himself, and the lane has sort of evened out, so it's really just these junglers trying to look for something. Fuquan pushing in, but with Dante just lurking around, he can't really make an aggressive play onto either of these lanes, so he's just going to have to back off and keep farming, and this does set up a opportunity for Cerberus to try and use this bot lane pressure to grab a dragon, perhaps.
Well, that first trick of the game is a Cloud, and at the moment it is Slater who is pushing Artemis under his tower, that Lucian gaining priority. Meanwhile, we might be getting some priority on the top side of the map. Both top laners are level 6. Yoshino was forced to burn his ult. Pun still has it available.
No, it's meant to be a good matchup in Renekton, apparently. This does not seem to be the case, as this is the second time in a row that the Renekton has just been taking it to the Gnar. Oh.
That was a flash. Dante's running around, but he's not actually doing much. He flashes in, gets the kills. The bottle combat anyone, as that falls some slow onto Dante as Fuquan. It goes on to Dante, locks him down. The Sky Splitter will rain terror, and it's another kill for Cerberus.
Great move from Cerberus, able to collapse and crush this fight, going straight onto Zodiac and shutting him down. This, unfortunately, kind of the kills did go onto bad targets. As okay, poor Ellis getting going a bit too aggressive near the turret and taking a tower shot and not being able to dive into the darkness of the shroud.
I just want to double check something, Bobby. Correct me if I'm wrong. Jane was the replacement for Harvey on Team Flash in Winter, right?
No, Jane has been on Puppies. Jane has been on Cerberus's B team Puppies for years now, it feels like.
I swear we saw Jane in Winter Split.
We saw... Don't remember, but...
Who replaced Harvey on Flash?
I can't remember. But... yeah, I can't remember. But anyway... Yeah, no, Jane, I'm fairly sure has been on Cerberus forever in some capacity, and finally getting to really make a statement into the VCS. Already 4-0, maybe looking to make it 5-0, as they're off to a really good start.
Okay. Well, Fuquan looking towards the bottom side, and he's on to all fours. He's on to Zodiac, leaps in with the ultimate, and Artemis drops down a death rocket to bring death to Zodiac. It's the fish that has a fallen Jane. Okay, I'll be honest, that scat of the week was a little bit questionable. You might want to be careful because Airless isn't making their way down, but it's just going to be a lockdown onto Airless, who now tries to turn onto Jane, Dante, and Airless under their tower. The perfect execution will find one, but it will only get one. It's 2 for 1 overall now under their tower. Fuquan tanking up the tower. Sky Split is not enough to keep him alive. Artemis takes one tower shot. The wild growth prevents the second tower shot from bringing him to his knees. 3-0, and Artemis is popping on the Jinx as Pun and Yoshino trade somewhat, but they will just back away from each other.
Yeah, the extended dive means that Team Flash are able to salvage something, but it's overall a big play, a 3 for 2 in the long run. Slater being able to sneak away with his life, but it's so much more gold going over to Artemis. He's feeling really comfy right now. Picked up the full Gale Force at 9 minutes. He's going to be well on his way to actually doing a lot of damage. I'm not sure if I would have preferred the Kraken Slayer, because there will be a fairly strong, fairly beefy frontline with Hecarim and Gnar coming out, so... And you hopefully relying on your Lulu to sort of help you with your movement with that Whimsy. So maybe sacrificing the potential best option. But overall, it's a great dive. Flash are able to respond with the Rift Herald. And it's a really nice bubble from Zodiac to keep Slater alive. But the rocket finishes them off. And this just continues for a little bit long as Ellis and Dante just decide to take the 2v4. The turret does help them out and get a lot of work done, but this one is definitely just over-aggression. You don't need to go again and again and again. It's really just the wild growth that comes in real clutch there that saves the whole play.
Yeah, I mean, it was a wild play. It was a wild growth in all senses of the word. Honestly, Lulu mechanics sometimes, that R button press, perfect timing. As Artemis gets a movement speed and it forces Airless to cancel their back. And, okay, I've got a question because you always just clarified this for me. Because I've been calling the support for Cerberus Hugh this entire time. But it's actually Huba because 3 is bar in Vietnamese. So does this mean that it's not actually Phuc 1 and it's a Phuc Mon?
Quite possibly. Huba, Phuc Mon. Quite, I mean, it's so. I'm not actually sure. I haven't actually gone and listened to the Vietnamese casters to get their pronunciation on this one specifically, but definitely possible. I feel like Hugh Bud just comes out much nicer than Hugh 3 is half the reason why we've gone for that one. And I mean, numbers. We should actually sit down and be consistent with these. But Huba is in. He's great. He's doing very well on this Lulu so far. That hasn't played yet this split, and I mean he's been behind Ron OP. It's kind of a tough gig to crack, but he's come in. He's got some game time, and he's showing up very well so far.
7 kills to 2. No perfect game for Cerberus, at least not here in game 1. 6 kills out of 7, or at least 6 kill participation out of 7 for Phuc 1 on that volley bet. And Dante, oh, poor you.
Good flash.
Was he on a control? No, he couldn't have been on a control board the entire time. But good flash keeps himself alive.
Yeah, and it sort of dispels the play from Dante. They really wanted to try and make something happen to force this Rift Herald play, get some more gold into the pockets of Slater, try and make something happen, because even though they were able to pick it up, the first turret did go down for the side of Cerberus, just able to utilize this pressure from the Jinx. But overall, we can probably safely say this Lucian army hasn't been able to do what it set out to achieve, and that is really bully a lane and try and get these kills, just constantly shoved onto tower. These dives as well have helped really weaken its ability to do anything. But instead, it's just going to be a drop mid, and only Dante's getting the gold.
And Artemis is getting the kill. Phuc 1 on the run. Oh, Eris, he misses the shuriken flip. That is not a good way to make your VCS debut. Goes in, gets locked down instantly, and the damage is instantly unloaded onto him as Pun shows up, picks up 1 kill. Now it's 5 members of Cerberus, and a big bad minion wave crashing under the tower. Yoshino Slater forced to retreat, and Cerberus will get another tower plate. Maybe they could get the tower as well. Only 1 minion left, so Cerberus will be forced to retreat.
Yeah, not going to be able to grab it on this wave. Probably not going to be able to grab it on the next one either, as they sort of just want to back off, not really commit the resources up. But Team Flash, they try to move for the play and defend the top side, meaning all that Herald gold only goes onto the Heck Room, and they can't actually get anything done. Here comes a teleport. This is aggressive.
Well, if it's not working first time, try again. This time the shuriken flip lands. You go, gold, and that buys time, but Dante drops it down. The Heck Room ultimate, the onslaught of shadows, to buy some time to enable Airless to get away. Just the 1 kill for Team Flash. They'll take that as a win.
Yeah, and they've actually crushed the health bar lead, so they're going to be able to force pretty much everyone back. It's just Jane who is going to be able to clear this wave safely. The rest of Flash do back off as well. But so it's a net win for Team Flash, and Airless with the really deep teleport, able to pull it out and get a kill onto Phuc 1, which is a good thing to see. It's good to see Flash fighting back, but that I'm actually kind of surprised that went the way it did, because it felt like it definitely could have gone much, much worse, with Pun being able to get right into that backline with that how deep that teleport was, and Airless also being so deep, but as a much more squishy option. But hey, Shroud does a lot of work.
Yeah. Well, the goal lead continues to extend for Cerberus despite Team Flash's desperate attempts to pull themselves back into this game, and Artemis is strong. That being said, Slater is still a Lucian, still at a strong stage with that Gale Force and Sheen completed.
Yeah, still going to be able to put up damage, at least if he can actually get in and access it. But Cerberus have used this push in mid, push in bot. They're going to claim this second dragon, and the bad ones are out of the way, so it's only good dragons from here on out. And it's an Infernal Rift, baby, so that should be a huge point of contention as the game goes on. Whereas Flash, they're going to try and grab this Rift Herald, try and crack open one of these towers somewhere, and get some gold back into their pocket. As if once this time's out, Yoshino's in trouble.
Tower disabled. Yoshino pushes Pun back, and he'll get sent back to his own fountain. Pun looking a little bit worse for wear, but he still picks himself up a nice juicy kill. Yeah,
shout out to Volibear, meaning that even though they didn't wait for Yoshino to become ineffective with the Narbar timeout, it doesn't matter. He wasn't able to actually make the most of the CC under turret, as there was no turret to work with. Goodbye, Artemis.
Artemis picks up his first death of the game. Only 3 members now without a death. Slater, Pun, and Huber. And right now Slater's saying, haha, Artemis, I have a better KDA than you. Mwahaha. I don't know if he did the evil laugh, but he probably said the rest of it.
Technically, he does. Technically, he doesn't actually have a KDA. There you go. Good. So Artemis wins again. But no, very nice pick from Dante, being able to find the opportunity with the Artemis left isolated, and they can use this to crack open this mid lane tower with the Rift Herald. So this gives Dante and the rest of Flash opportunities to push in. Yeah, just Artemis, good knockout of the Gale Force, and followed up with the ultimate. Very little that Artemis can actually do in that situation without a flash. So, fair, easy pickup, good work from Team Flash.
I've got a question. If a player has a KDA of 000, does that count as a 0 KDA or an infinite KDA?
Probably, I don't know. I would assume 0, since there is nothing to be divided.
I would agree.
Mathematical theory. I haven't done this in years. But yeah, no, just. So now we're just gonna move back into posturing in this mid lane. Look for maybe a few picks. That's a good one.
Well, all the picking seems to be being done by Cerberus. They're like a bunch of children who've been given food by their parents, and they're trying to take all the vegetables out of their plates. As in goes Eris. He's saying, here's your peas, eat them. And Cerberus saying, we don't wanna, we're gonna throw them away. They chuck Slater out. Now they're gonna chuck Airless away. They don't want him on their food plate. And now they'll get rid of this pesky in a tower as well.
Yeah, the front line from Cerberus able to just clean up the back line. Not able to, they can't quite make the damage happen. Can Team Flash, so Cerberus walk away. 2 kills, a complete tower as well. Granted, that was really a 4v5 since Yoshino got deleted at the start of it. Here we are, it was a nice scout of the week into unloading everything onto him. Then they go, alright fellas, we've got 5 men, we can just try and dive this. We have such a big numbers advantage. And despite what should have been a really strong pick from Airless, being able to get straight into this backline, there was enough disruption with the Wild Growth and the Scout of the Week to just keep him right out after he'd already used his means of getting in, so he has to walk back into the fight, and by that point, you just kind of wasted everything. You can't do much from there.
Now, before this game, while we were in a break, I did a tier list of fun champions, which you saw, Marby, and I put Akali in the S+++++ tier. Would you think that Ellis is having fun right now on his Akali?
No, I feel like he's currently really struggling to have an impact. He's found a couple of kills that was decent, but after that first attempt at a kill onto Jane in the mid lane, it's really taken the wind out from under the sails. And really, overall, Cerberus has just done a very good job at checking the Akali and trying to remove the impact that she is having. And it's working out very well so far.
Now 13 kills to 4, 7k goal lead. Still 2 members yet to die, Pun and Huber.
2k gold in the top lane alone.
To be fair, Yoshino has been like ganked quite a few times.
Sure, but 0, 3, and 0? Absolutely zero impact from this Gnar. It is pure disaster coming out from this pick. Going for this Ranju in second to try and do their best and be as tanky as possible, but it's not gonna happen.
Triforce's first item for Yoshino? Is that a Gnar thing?
Yep, that's fairly standard. It's the strongest trading for your dueling patterns, which you can kind of work with on the mini Gnar form, so it's the best case scenario for that. Plus, it really helps out with, sticking on top of people and that little bit of burst in the Mega Gnar. But it's not really going to help at all.
Yeah, I was going to say, considering how much Yoshino's getting dived, I don't think dealing damage is his issue. I think as much as it pains me to say, I think the Hullbreaker might have helped him more.
It's hard to say because with the nerfs to Hullbreaker,
the
times you're looking to dive Gnar, he's ranged, and Hullbreaker on ranged has been hit dramatically. So kind of doesn't hurt, doesn't help quite as much. You could make an argument for Divine Sundra to just let that heal try and carry you through, perhaps, but it's not great. It's not working out great for Yoshino regardless. What is also quite odd... Actually, we're going to hold this.
Well, I was going to say, Zodiac dying is odd, but then again, Team Flash have been dying a lot this game. A total of 14 deaths, and Cerberus get 1, and now they head towards the Baron as they continue to pick more and more vegetables out of their dinner plate.
The odd choice was the Stridebreaker on this Renekton, and it's actually really great for locking down these slippery targets of Lucian, Gnar, and Kali. So here we go. Can we see some Stridebreaker action from Pun?
You know what? If you can't win a fight, try to get the 1v3 going. That's what you get, Pun, for removing your vegetables. And it's 1 kill that goes the way of Team Flash. But now Artemis and Cerberus want their vengeance. Good sidestep on the zap, and the boomerang will get the slow onto Fook 1. So it's just a 1 kill for the side of Team Flash, and they stop Cerberus from being able to take the Baron.
Cerberus just got run around there. They tried to make something, tried to go for something, and left Pun all on his lonesome, and it just got picked off. That's a nice move from Team Flash, able to sort of debate Team Cerberus to make and find a way to actually take a pick, take a win on the map, and now they get the opportunity to try and control this Baron vision. Won't be much because, well, it's just some vision control, but hey, if they can actually convert this perhaps into a tower for Airless, that's gold. That's an objective bounty back into the pockets of Team Flash, and it really helps their gold situation.
And the goal situation is, well, I guess, slightly better. To be fair, considering the game state, it is only a 4k goal lead to Cerberus. And I will say it's not over. I say that very hesitantly, but it isn't over just yet. If Cerberus get that Infernal Drake, it's looking a little bit more difficult. But if Airless, now that they have 2 items, if they can find a way onto the backline, maybe get that pick onto Artemis or Jane, that would be pretty good. Speaking of Artemis, they're looking for Artemis.
Good Flash.
So from the side of Cerberus, and Team Flash forced to back away, but Pun is on the hunt. Yoshino trying to kite away. Airless on the run. Shuriken flipping over the wall as the culling does work onto Pun's health bar. Team Flash come out unscathed.
Well, Cerberus really struggling with the lack of engage tools on their roster. If they can't find that without that flash from Pun, they're not really able to make the fight happen, and Flash can fairly effectively disengage. Good pick though. That should be Dante going.
Dante down. Burning Sky Splitter, not landing, but in comes Fook 1 with the ultimate, picks up the kill. And now Cerberus can look towards Baron, because not only do they have a kill, but they have removed Team Flash's smite.
Yeah, that is very important, because up until this point, realistically, if you had looked at the items, Flash was actually on very even item parity. but now they've managed to secure this kill. It's now a 4v5 within the pit. They are grouped up, and Yoshino has a pretty good Naba built up. If he can find the ultimate, it can swing the game.
Airless down low, the rockets are flying, forced to perfect execution over the wall, but this just leaves Yoshino by themselves in the meat grinder. Another kill for Cerberus, and a 7k goal lead for them as well.
Yeah, that picks up that very little issue. The engage just was not there for Team Flash. They threw the ultimate from Nami and kind of did nothing else. But Cerberus is going to transition this quickly into a dragon. Absolutely fantastic. This is Soul. If Dante doesn't get this is Soul. He has to go for the steal.
He has to go for it.
And they spotted him out, so he can't go for it. This is just absolute disaster. Flash, just how do you win from this position?
Honestly, Marby, I'd love to tell you, but I think it involve a lot of mess-ups, for want of a better word, from the side of Cerberus to allow Team Flash to get back in, on top of maybe an Elder steal, and then a Baron steal, and then Cerberus running it all down once again. Yeah,
and this was great. I was just talking about how the lack of really strong engage hurt Cerberus in that top play, but Jane over the wall with that Flash Scout of the Week was perfect. But here we see Flash just sort of indecisive. They throw the ultimate, but as soon as that wild growth stops Airless, they're like, oh no, we're just gonna run away now. Goodbye. We don't actually want anything to do with this. We don't want to try and force harder, maybe look to corral them at all into the pit. And look, Cerberus did a very good job of just pulling off and out of the pit early, which is good to see and makes it harder for Flash, but very, very low aggression coming out from Flash. When a little bit more, you might as well go for the flip at that point, because you weren't having a high percentage chance of winning anyway. So go for the maybe a little bit higher percentage play than just getting stalled out and losing everything on the map.
Well, Pun trying to zone Team Flash away, but Yoshino having none of it, and he says, if I want to step up in my lane, I'll do just that. Oh my... Oh, what? No.
Infernal Soul, baby!
Did that zap just do half the damage? Dante wants to go for a flash, but Team Flash are one member down.
Yeah, it doesn't get the kill, but it effectively does, because Zodiac has to run all the way back to base. And this Infernal Soul that they picked up has just done so much. Here comes Dante.
Oh, this is a fair bit of damage. Can they get the cleanup? Pun goes golden. Will it buy enough time? It buys a fair amount, and Pun will fall. But Artemis survives. It's a 1-for-1. And again, Team Flash will take a 1-for-1 in the current situation they find themselves in.
So yeah, that actually looks like it was going to be a really good fight. There was a huge onslaught of shadows, and they almost were able to take out Artemis, which would have been huge, and they might have been able to continue the fight, but as is, just 1-for-1, and that is good for the side of Cerberus. They defend their inhibitor, but they do lose the tower itself. So here we saw that Fugon's actually just trying to check Dante, because they really don't want this to happen, but he is able to just race on by with that ghost, and it means it's actually a very late engage from Fugon, so they can't. So they actually sort of split in this 2v4 plus a 1v4, and Pun just can't survive that 1v4 by that 1v3 by himself. And Airless is able to get away pretty. Oh no, sorry, Dante's able to get away. Airless goes down, but it all works out. It's all fine. You got one kill. You almost got that second one. If that second one had gone over, that would have been a huge full Flash. So more plays like that.
Yeah. Okay, Salada sees Artemis. Salada wants to go for a play. Dante trying to come from the side, but Dante has already just been burnt out. Onslaught of Shadows over the wall. Somehow stays alive. Yoshino heard there was a party in the mid lane, but by the time he had arrived, everyone on Team Flash had left. That is just too much damage, Artemis. Zodiac will fall now, or looks to Airless. And Airless falls as well. The wild growth keeps Artemis alive once again. Team Flash have got so close so many times to getting kills onto Artemis. But at this point, the wallets have become bank accounts. They've become complete ices with a full-time life-saving savings for future generations as well. Maybe they can carry that advantage into game 2 as well. It is so big as Cerberus move on to the Nexus, and Cerberus will take game 1 over Team Flash.
Yeah, they wanted to try and make that same play again, but Jane, had none of it. Just drops the ultimate immediately onto Dante, and with that Infernal Soul, it pretty much 100 to